In today's video, I'm going into what is aligned action and taking aligned action. So continuing on the series this week of hustle culture, I actually wanted to go into what is aligned action, like taking aligned action. And I wanted to share, like last year, I was setting up a website and, landing pages for, clients to come in and coaching clients and a course and, different things I was setting up online. And I was looking into, okay, what softwares or what, websites do I want to use to create these courses? And, there's a handful of hosting sites out there. And so I started creating with one of them that sounded really good. It was like, oh, they're promoting their stuff really well, and I could create courses here. And as the days went on, I noticed I was like forcing, I got to make this happen. I got to push and push and push to make this happen. And I really wasn't enjoying setting up these pages, and I kept pushing and pushing and like, oh, okay, I'll figure it out. Like, I can't quite figure out how to do this to this, so let me research and look, and I couldn't find any details. And so I was having all these like little things, roadblocks that I would run into. And I was like, well, what is going on here? Like, why is this so difficult? And I was like, well, and I'm usually pretty techie and I understand, how things work and link together and I can figure all this stuff out. But this was like, wow, this is like pulling teeth, or pulling hair, It was like, why is this so difficult? And so finally I took a step back and I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, is there an easier way to do this? And I realized that I was like, oh, well, what I'm doing is kind of setting up my own roadblocks because I had fears at the time and I had like, concerns of like stepping into this new world in my, for myself and do I want to be doing this? So, okay, I ended up then creating these problems along the way or like using a website that was way more difficult than it needed to be. And when I saw this and I stepped back, I kind of was like, okay, universe, is there something easier? Is there something better? What's going on? Let me just sit back and think about this or look into it. And like literally the next day, I had, different things pop up on, as ads or on my YouTube or something. And I was like, oh, wait, there's another website over here. Let me look into this. Oh, and they have a full thing of training, like how to set up courses and how to set up these websites. Wow, this is so much easier. Like literally in a day, I had everything set up then, which had been taking me, a couple weeks prior to get these things set up. So it was interesting to see that, how things had shifted. And I mentioned the story because that was me going from forcing, making, pushing, I have to make it happen, to being more in aligned action. Like, oh, this is more aligned. Although that said, I also kind of was aligned with the previous one too, like I was in this place of fear, concerns, and so yeah, I kind of actually was aligned with that as well. But I needed to shift where I was and get into a better alignment of actually progressing forward. Like that's what I wanted, was to be progressing forward. So also talking about aligned action, are you doing what you love or what you like doing? Are you enjoying, these things that you're working on? Or is it like, I just have this job because I need to make money? Like what is the motive underlying what you're doing currently? And then do you want to get more aligned to what you love doing? And the same thing for me last year. I was kind of like, well, I don't really know what I love doing. I don't really know what I like. I mean, there's things that I enjoy, but what is it that I really enjoy that I actually want to be of service to others, that I actually want to be out there helping others and bringing in money doing this? What ways do I want that, and how do I want to see that? And so it took me a while because I kept thinking, okay, universe, just tell me what to do, show me the path, like give me direction and I'll take it. But of course, universe isn't gonna be like, hey, go this way. Instead, yeah, I have to first take the action. I have to first try out and do things. And then universe, of course, supports me. But it's like they're not going to say, go this way and do these things. That's something that has to come from within me. Like I have to find what I love for me and, figure those things out in myself. Which, mentioning that, my coaching program, there's a link below in the dialog box below, but in my coaching program, I help you find those things that you love and what you want to do and, explore in yourself, really finding what it is that you're passionate about and getting aligned in yourself. So again, talking about this hustle culture versus getting into aligned action. With the aligned action, it is about doing things that you love, that you enjoy, getting into flow, finding those things, and you will be supported more and more by universe, and as well doing things for others, like of service kind of thing. And what can I create that is of value to other people? And if you start to notice then as well that you're coming up against these walls that you're pushing and pushing, like, I gotta make it happen, take a step back and go, okay, what's going on here? Like maybe I'm out of alignment or maybe it's not in alignment. Like the steps I'm taking is not aligned with the progress that I want to make forward or what I want to do. So as I've been exploring this week with the idea of hustle culture or getting into flow and getting into more alignment, it's like, which one are you in and which one would you rather be in? And can you start shifting? Like if you are over here in the, I gotta make it happen and force and make, and if you're happy over there, great. Like you can keep making money and keep, going forward. But for me, I definitely found I couldn't sustain it. And at a certain point, I was like, this is not actually happy. Like I was not happy in that place. And so for me to step back and find things that actually made me happy, that was when my life started to change and become more satisfying. Like I didn't have to chase after happiness. Instead, I actually started getting it every day. So it is like, okay, are you over here in this hustle, make, force, kind of area? And then would you like to be over in the area where everything is more flow, everything is happening and you're creating and co-creating and able to have others come in and help you and work with you, and instead of this force, make it happen. So either place that you are in, it's where you're at right now, but it's just becoming aware of that and seeing if you want to change from it, if you want to shift. And become aware so that you can make the change. So thank you again for joining me today. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. And if you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe button below. And thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.